Welcome back to the Locked In with Drew and Wes podcast. We're doing it live on Twitch, live on YouTube. Both of those are, again, down on my links if you're checking out the VOD if you missed it and you want to catch us live.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're Locked In episode 12, and we got a lot of things to talk about. Shout out Brad Holmes for giving us a topic here. But first things first, I do want to say, we are at 99 subscribers on YouTube. As of recording. We might hit 100 while going on. I don't know. But with that being said, please comment down below or on my community tab that I said what we should do for the 100. Do a subscriber special, and maybe we can do like a challenge thing. Maybe we can do a giveaway, whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. Nothing too crazy if we end up doing a giveaway. But with that being said, jumping into the podcast itself, the NBA draft lottery. That that obviously did not go the way that we wanted it
to. No.
The Pistons fall to 5, and that was obviously the worst they could fall at the time. And now guys like Alexander Sarr and stuff like that is not really a realistic.
Maybe Cody,
right?
Whoever else is gonna be
the top guys there that a lot of people maybe have super high on their board. Probably won't be available at 5.
Probably not.
And then it really riddles the question also, what should the Pistons do here?
Yeah.
But first things first. The NBA rewarding the Hawks with the first overall pick just stinks. I mean...
The Hawks got the pick?
Atlanta Hawks is number 1. With that being said, they made the play-in this year. True, they did lose, of course. They did not make it to the playoffs. But this team has Trae Young on it, has DeJounte Murray on it. I mean, has good role players like Clint Capella, like Danielle Hunter. Yeah, guys like that. And, of course, this team is definitely in a weird spot, but easily could...
Better than our team.
If you could throw Sarr on there and be like, okay, this team's instantly better. If you trade Trae Young or DeJounte Murray, like a lot of these Hawks pages have been talking about, I've seen on Twitter. So I guess the Spurs apparently have interest in Trae Young, but and the Spurs have 2 top 10 picks, so they could easily leap us in the rebuild process by 1 year, and we're like 5-6 of rebuild.
Is it 5-6 already?
I mean. If you want to say Cade, that's...
I want to say Cade.
Okay, well that's like year 4 now.
That's what I'm saying. Year 4. I'm going to give it year 4.
Just when Troy came over and when we first got like the Killian draft.
That was a fail. That was like skipping Tyrese and Halliburton and stuff. Yeah, that was a fail.
Yeah.
That was a fail. That was not the start of no rebuild right there.
Right. It's obviously not great where they are at right now. But with that being said, what do you think about this 5th pick? Do you want to be picking at 5? Do you have a guy that you love at 5? Or are you thinking, let's trade this pick out, let's look at
You're only gonna want to look to trade out unless you're getting all-star level talent, and not an all-star that's probably, somebody who can't shoot or something as well. Like, that just wouldn't fit with us. Like,
right.
It's got to be the right guy. I don't mind trading the pick at all because obviously just picking and picking and picking is not working.
It's not worked at all.
At all. So yeah, trade out for I don't even know who. Like, would you trade that pick for like a DeJounte Murray?
So the Pistons do have the cap to do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly,
I want to know like just like people or like names you would go for.
Right.
With that.
The thing is, I think this draft class has been seen, besides like maybe the hype for Sarr, there isn't like, I don't think people are really like, this is a big draft class.
Yeah.
If anything, they're saying this draft class is weak. So, of course, we've had classes that they say and they swear upon, like the Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball draft. They're like, Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, guaranteed All-Stars.
Yeah.
How did that work out? You know what I mean? Everything about this is, of course, a prediction. But with that being said, we're looking at this, and I think it's going to take, like, if you're reaching for the big fish, the biggest fish besides, like, I mean, we're talking about not in free agency, Brandon Ingram is a very likely guy because He's a high cap guy.
Yep.
He's a guy that's obviously him and Zion don't really fit together. They don't have like a good fit.
Right.
They're not superstars that really like play off each other really well, like a LeBron, AD.
Well, Zion can't shoot, and with his height, he can only do so much. And then Bi is not really a pass the ball to the
Right.
rolling Zion
Right.
thing. So.
And he, to be fair, he did have a little bit of an increase, but it's not. The fit is still not great at all.
Right.
Bi on this team would be awesome,
Yes.
but
Yes.
you're not going to get Bi for just 5. You know what I mean?
Probably not.
You're probably going to have to put in.
Maybe
I
some
do-
seconds. And
Well, you might have to get. You might have to
Big
do some
player.
more. You might do a player, and you might have to do maybe a future first. Because now first round picks are being valued anymore. It's really not great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be tough.
But at the same time, the Pistons are in a scenario with Cade Cunningham. There's no wiggle room to fuck up. There's literally
Yeah.
no more wiggle room because
Yeah.
you spent enough time fucking up.
Yep. That's
Cade is going to be up this offseason and next offseason for his max extension, his max rookie extension. He's obviously going to take that. I've heard rumors about, not rumors, sorry, people speculating, oh, well, maybe he wouldn't want to so he could leave because the team's been so bad. No one's going to put down $200 million, like not sign a $200 million contract.
Yeah.
Because and with how things go in the NBA now, you can definitely demand a trade and all that stuff. Of course, we don't want that to happen with Cade.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we
But, because that would be horrible. But, with that being said, we're looking at a scenario where you need to fix things and you need to fix things fast.
Yes. Yeah, you got to get something rolling here on the ball. Like, come on, dude. Like, there's just no. It seems like there's no momentum for this team. There's no progression. We're just like worse and then worse and then even worse.
And
it's like, wow.
Like the picks that we're getting, I think it's
because it wasn't like this year, but it was the year before where Cade went out early in the year. So we're kind of like, well, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, like 10
then,
games.
And then we're like, we came back. We started the year 2-1. We're like, oh, here we go. Like, we're gonna see some good basketball, but
Right.
we weren't even competitive. So
Right.
Yeah.
That's tough. Obviously, I mean, and the picks that we've had, honestly, I mean, Ivy had a really rough year this year. But rookie season Ivy, so much optimism right there. Asar Thompson,
it was.
besides his shooting woes, he's a guy that I think can really grow and be a really true lockdown defender, a guy who can have the ball in his hands, everything like that. But how do those players fit with Cade? You know what I mean? Duren, I love Duren. Duren is one of my like favorite players to watch. The way he's so violent, with how he does his putback dunks, his dunks in the paint, and his defense is when he's doing when it's a big block, it's very entertaining, right?
Yes.
But this team is very young and also very inexperienced. Jalen Duren, his young, being 19 years old with his grown man body is awesome.
Yeah.
But his defense, obviously, you can see there's a disconnect there.
There is. He'll get better at that. I think Ren's one of our better fits on the team for sure.
Right.
Know, especially with Cade, but it's just, it seems like you said, it's about fit, it's about chemistry, and but chemistry requires people being able to fit together in some way, and Asar not being able to shoot.
Ivy's woes, you know what I mean?
Ivy being very iffy on the spot ups or even the catch and shoots. It's like it's like you said, that's all that Cade needs around a team, and that's not what we have around Cade. Because Ren's role is not shooting either. Obviously this league nowadays, there's a lot of big men that shoot threes. We trade Ren for Nas Reed, but no, it's just not fitting. It seems like there's just not. It's not. We traded for shooting. One guy was bad. One guy was good, and we need more shooting. One guy is not fixing our problems, and I think isn't that his first year in the NBA last year?
What?
Fonseca's?
Was he second year?
Second year? Yeah. So it's like this guy's second year in the league, and we're like, oh yeah, he's gonna fix our shooting, which he helped, but we obviously need more than just him.
Right.
Being able to shoot the ball and make open shots. It's terrible to watch. I just remember watching Pistons game. It's like, wow.
I mean, after the deadline, things looked better. I mean,
it did. It seemed like it.
I mean, Grimes, the addition of Grimes wasn't what you probably wanted it to be. His shooting, he was shooting like 20%, bro. He was
not.
I mean, granted, he was coming off an injury, but still. I mean, Grimes shooting the way he is shooting around Cade is not going to work.
No.
And he's got a lack of creation ability. The big part that was interesting for him was the 3-and-D and the good fit. If he's not hitting his threes, it's not a good fit anymore.
No.
So we're going to have to see how that gets handled this offseason. Of course, the biggest thing that we're not talking about right now with this Pistons team is the biggest thing that's the most mysterious. The president of basketball operations position will be filled. And when that's filled, we're going to have that guy having the ability to do hires and fires of Monty Williams and Troy Weaver.
Yep.
We've talked about this before.
Yep.
And we talked about this last podcast about what we think will happen. But that guy basically will have the ability to see what this direction is for this franchise. You know what I mean? His sight will be really, does Troy Weaver get fired? Does Monty Williams get fired? Do we clean house with both of them, or do we keep both of them? So this offseason is going to be the craziest thing. It's going to be actually pretty fun to cover. You know what I mean? We're going to have a great time talking about it because there could be a potential that one of those guys is getting replaced.
Yeah, right. And even with the offseason, free agency, you should see us doing stuff and actively being involved to improve this year. There should not be hesitation in getting good players on this team. There should not be.
Right.
So,
and you got $60 million cap space, Troy.
Yeah.
Troy has never went out and spent his cap space. He's always, last year we were hoping for, he basically put 1-year deals of Joe Harris and stuff like that to basically push the cap space into the future and get a guy so he could get draft capital, which was more like seconds. Wasn't really anything like big time draft capital.
Yeah.
So this offseason, it's Troy's time. Troy needs to fight for his job. He's literally gonna get fired next offseason
because he might.
Literally might. I mean, if I was president of basketball operations, right, I would tell Troy, you have this offseason to make this team a 30 to 40 win team. And of course, 40 wins is very optimistic, right? This is not going to get fixed overnight, but 30 to 35 wins should be the goal for next season. Should be. Because you can't have another 20-win season. You can't be in the top of the lottery again. You got to show some progression. You have to. The East is weak. The Hawks made the play-in with 36 wins. You're telling me that that's possible? We could be contending for the play-in if we have 30 wins at the end of the season. I mean, not saying that we're going to get it with 30 wins, but having the thing like what happened with the Red Wings 2 years ago, or not even 2 years ago, this year, I guess, too. There's we're looking at playoff hockey in the future. It's coming because we are making our way with this younger team, getting closer and closer.
Yep.
So, and Monty Williams, we'll see about him, but the crazy, I think, looking at the draft lottery itself, because we really need to, how big of a deal this was that we have had this terrible draft lottery luck is crazy. Looking at some stuff, this is the wrong side of my paper? No, it is not the wrong side of the paper. Sorry, I wrote down some notes. Well, this is the first time ever that in the NBA, the team that was the worst team had the best odds for the first pick, right? Falls to 5 in back-to-back years. This is a three-peat of getting the 5th pick while having tied for the best odds for the first pick. We are having all-time horrible draft luck.
Yes.
Now, to be fair, do we have any reason, have we deserved anything by the things that we've done? Obviously, we haven't played good. We haven't done moves that have shown good improvement. We've been the worst team. But compared to the NFL, we are not getting the things where, the Jaguars, how they were able to get 2 first-round picks after being terrible. Now they have Trevor Lawrence. They have Trayvon Walker. Could have been Ed Hutchinson. Probably should have been Ed Hutchinson. Different story. But with that being said, looking at that team was able to turn around things faster. Now falling to 5, we missed out on Paolo Banchero, Chet Holmgren. These are all in different drafts, of course. Jabari Smith Jr. This Victor. This year, Sarr. Last year, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller. That's just a few guys that we missed out on. Of course, 2020, when we did Killian over Halliburton, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot there too, to be fair.
Yeah. I think Maxey was there too.
Right. And I mean, you can look at certain things about the Ivy draft, if you're not high on Ivy, there's still other players that have been contributing that maybe could have been over Ivy. I mean,
Yeah.
J-Dub, I know you're a big fan of J-Dub, went the pick before Duran.
We would have, dude.
Pick before Duran. So
if we would have went J-Dub and then Ren, I think we would have actually been looking a little better right now. I'm not going to lie.
The fit's better.
Because J-Dub is like, he's good, man. Jalen Williams, small forward off of OKC, he is a really fantastic player.
Versatile.
Like probably the most versatile player in, like, upcoming in the league right now, dude. He's crazy. He can play anywhere.
Right.
And he plays strong, and he can shoot, and he does it all. Like, I like Ivy, but it just seems like Ivy's thing is he needs to ISO, or he needs to, find his rhythm or stay in that rhythm as well. And we haven't done that to help him.
Right.
Killian Hayes starting at the beginning of the year, Monty.
Yeah.
I don't understand. J-Dub would never have been benched. He would never have been, like, he's not benched now, and he's on a very talented young OKC. Were they first seed?
Yes, they were first
seed team. Like, he's not benched.
No.
He's not on their bench, is he?
No.
No, he's starting.
He's contributing to playoff
because he's that
basketball.
He's that good. He's that type of player.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Right.
That's just
I mean, of course, everything's easier in retrospect. Of course, can criticize, but that's Troy Weaver's job.
I mean, it's easier in retrospect, but I know one day we went back and we went and looked at the Killian draft. And we looked at Killian's numbers. We watched Killian play before he got drafted, and then we looked at Tyrese Halliburton's numbers, and then we watched Tyrese before he got drafted.
Yeah.
Definitely take Tyrese Halliburton. It was like Killian's play did look good. His numbers weren't as good as Tyrese's. I don't think he shot quite as well from three or even scored as many points. Obviously, different leagues, France to college. But Tyrese's play looked like mini Tyrese Halliburton, just ready to break out of a shell, and he shot efficient. Like, I don't know, and he's big guard. Like,
Right.
That was the idea with Killian, but he was like, I don't know. He couldn't even handle the ball, bro. So I don't even know.
And now he's in free agency. We released him at the deadline. And
nobody's team.
Yeah, he didn't get picked up. I mean, we'll see. We'll see after free agency.
We're just like missing on every play.
It's terrible. It's obviously been not good. We've not had a great run. And Troy Weaver, I mean,
Troy sucks. I'm not even gonna lie. If I were been hired in that basketball position, Troy's gone. Monty, whatever, dude. You get the players you dealt with. Obviously, some interesting decisions that will never happen again if I'm there.
Right.
But like, Troy's probably gone.
Right.
You're drafting Killian. Cade, yeah, he was gonna be number one. Like, if you would have messed up and not picked Cade, then you're already gone that year.
Right.
But Cade. Ren was a nice move for trading up for him, but then Ivy missing out on J-Dub, Asar missing out on other guys like we talked about now. Like, it's just
right. I mean, I'm higher on Ivy still than I think. I mean, the fit, of course, I think is definitely
that's where I get to start not being so high on Ivy.
Right, but I think Ivy can be literally, because of his athleticism, one of the best isolation scorers in the league.
He could be.
He definitely. He had, I mean, I don't remember the statistic off the top of my head because I saw it during the season. It was basically like per isolation per point, he was in the top 10, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was.
Points per isolation. So his explosiveness is definitely useful. He definitely can be a great player. The problem is the fit with Cade, and I think that will basically be the determinant on what happens here. He might not be on the team. He might get traded this offseason. There's a huge possibility of that. I'm a fan of Ivy. I'm a fan of a lot of these guys because I've seen these guys grow. But at the same time, you gotta eventually say and put like your personal feelings about these players aside and say we need to win basketball games.
Yep.
And I like Stu. I like Ivy. I like a lot of these guys.
Stu.
But Stu might not be on this team going forward. He might be a bench guy, but at the same time, we need to rearrange this roster. No roster that had the worst losing streak and worst record in franchise history can go and return with most of the rotation back.
Yeah.
You need this whole roster needs to be fixed. And
It does.
the only player that's untouchable is Cade Cunningham. Now, Duren is probably quite close to that.
Duren is close. I like Duren for his age, for his size, for the way he moves. You know,
Right.
You talk about his defensive inefficiencies, but he's very young and he's just gotten here.
Right.
And I like to watch Duren. I like to just see him just play out for us. So.
He's a good rebounder. He's very athletic. I think him and Cade can really be a good duo.
Yep.
But at the same time, we will definitely see.
Yep.
This Pistons team is gonna definitely. Fuck, man. Okay. Talking about this offseason with the Pistons, looking at some targets for, I guess, free agency, more like trade talks. Well, I mean, there's some pipe dreams that you can maybe say. Okay, we talked about Brandon Ingram, DeJounte Murray. Trae Young is a player that's going to probably be possibly dealt. I don't know if Trae Young exactly fits this roster. I don't know if Trae Young really is a good fit. So I don't think
not
that's
if you're keeping Ivy.
No. And
if you're keeping Ivy and Cade, you're not getting Trae Young.
No, you're not getting Trae Young. I don't think that's really a possibility. That's just more a guy that is available.
Yeah.
This one's interesting, but at the same time, I don't think there's a lot of merit to it. Jimmy Butler is going to probably get traded because he wants a max contract. He wants a max extension off his current deal with the Heat. I don't think the Heat want to do that. There's been Pat Riley came out and said some things about Jimmy Butler that weren't like the highest of things, and with Pat Riley being the owner, that's a big deal. So we'll have to see about that. But even then, I don't think I want to pay Jimmy Butler at his age a max contract either. So I think that probably isn't a thing. Also, you have draft capital to pay him that amount of money.
And even with Jimmy, like, Jimmy does hit shots, but Jimmy's not no 3-point knockdown. Like, I just don't see how it works.
Right.
Because maybe you have off-ball Cade more with Jimmy, but is Jimmy's whole thing playmaking now? Like, I don't think so.
I think the biggest attribute of Jimmy would be his mentality. That would be the biggest thing. Is he could come in, he brings that dog mentality, that basically pushing everyone at practice crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
And that would be valuable. But I don't think that's valuable enough to sacrifice max cap. But at the same time, if it's not a very expensive trade, there's a world that maybe I'm not against it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be actually too against it.
But
really like
certain things have to be certain ways, of course. I don't really love giving up a bunch of draft capital and maybe even an asset. And also, does that really interest the Heat? You know what I mean? Do the Heat get interested by Ivy, the 5th pick, and a future first? I mean, that they're contending. That doesn't. Where does that help them? You know what I mean? So, I don't know if that really even brings anything for them. But
yeah. No, I see where you're going with that. It's just, I don't know what you have on there. Cameron Johnson.
Cameron Johnson was a guy that we targeted last offseason, and then the Nets tagged him, I believe, or matched an offer, whatever it was, I forgot. But that was basically one of the guys that I think Troy really wanted to get. A guy at the 4 spot, shooting, size. His defense is not that. I mean, he's not like a long-term defender. He's probably an average defender at best. But he didn't have the greatest year. Maybe you can buy low on him and be like, okay, let's get him for a little bit of a cheaper deal. Maybe not something super expensive.
Is he improving our team?
I think the fit is definitely there. 40% shooter. You know what I mean? He's 6'10". I think he is someone that would be an instant plug and play guy at the 4, and I think that there's a potential. I mean, he showed really big flashes last season after getting traded to the Nets. Same thing with Mikal, to be fair. And
yeah, that's true.
Mikal didn't exactly keep the 25 points per game that he was doing in that second span.
That's interesting.
So I don't know. Maybe that was a short spurt that was good for them, and maybe they're not exactly going to keep that consistently.
On a rip for a second there.
I don't know. Maybe it's coaching too. I mean, maybe
could be coaching.
So I don't
scheming.
Right. So to be fair, maybe that could be a guy that could be that, and then also this is a very pipe dream, and this is from the last podcast. If Devin Booker wants to return home, I'm just fucking saying it, bro. If Devin Booker wants to come back, come home. He reps Detroit. The guy's from here. The guy reps Tigers jerseys all the time. He reps wing stuff.
Is he free agent, or would we have to give up?
We have to trade for him.
Ivy and all of our first.
I mean, like, we would have to probably send quite a bit to get him.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie,
I wouldn't mind it.
that'd be huge.
Wouldn't mind it.
But at the same time, I don't think that's
I wouldn't
probably
mind the most efficient 26 points a game you ever seen.
And that would be drop that ball. Drop that ball, not getting him.
Yeah.
But
yeah, just keep thinking about it. Yeah, keep thinking about all the guys.
But I guess looking at free agents,
and you're trying to back up Troy.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That
you,
is fair.
Wow, you didn't miss on the first overall pick. Wow, congratulations! Like you
Yeah.
couldn't hit on any other one. You had to trade up to get 12 to get Ren.
I mean, he turned Jimmy Grant into Jalen Durant, which I think that's pretty decent.
Remember how I think we talked about before how Jared Grant would fit perfect on this team now.
Yeah. Yeah. But also with the contract that the Blazers gave him, I don't think that he's not.
Oh,
even
that's
on
a fact. I don't want that contract.
Yeah.
No.
That's why he's not on this list. I mean,
What does he even do now? How good has he been in the Blazers?
I mean, he's been like 20 points. He's been
Has he?
Yeah, he's been good. Low 20s. He's still
Really?
his defensive upside. He had the best shooting year of his career actually, but at the same time,
Interesting.
he's definitely playing well.
That's
But
cool.
the amount of money he's getting paid, that's a rough contract, and I don't think I would be interested in it. To be fair, I mean, the fit's great, but and I'm not trying to say that we're too good for him. I just think that there's other ways to spend the cap. You know what I mean? Like same way with the Jimmy Butler thing. I'm not trying to say that I don't want this player. I'm not willing to spend for a great player. I just think there might be different avenues to go that maybe you're still getting good contracts. You're not ridiculously overpaying for
Right.
something, especially at the ages that they're at. Maybe doesn't fit exactly well. But I guess talking to someone that is a little bit older, that might be a little bit of a discount, coming off a $40 million contract, Tobias Harris, likely going to get closer to 20s, you know what I mean? Probably cutting that in half. Guy from, like, that was a former Piston, back when we were in the playoff chases, you know what I mean? With Drummond, with Reggie Jackson, stuff like that. Before, I guess he got traded for Blake. That was really when that stuff started going on. Never mind. He was a young core asset that was part of a rebuild.
Right.
That was definitely a good scorer. Guy that I saw something about Tobias Harris that they were talking about that he doesn't get utilized correctly
Really.
in Philadelphia. He is more than a spot up shooter. The guy can create his own shot. But that Philadelphia team has Maxey, Embiid, and that's their main focus.
That is their focus.
So I don't think that they really have Tobias doing a whole lot of creation work. And Tobias isn't a great defender. He's an average defender, but plugging in for $20 million a year might be for maybe not a super long term deal, but maybe a 2-3 year contract.
I wouldn't mind that, and seeing what kind of allowing him and unleashing what he can really do, if that's what they're saying. But
right.
I'm not too sure in how much further he's gonna take it, but getting older and such. But give us probably 20 points a game. I mean,
and if he doesn't, he's getting 18. You know what I mean 18 like and stuff. Efficient shooting, maybe 20 points per game with the playmaking of Cade. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking.
But now that I'm thinking about it more, Cade being able to draw in defenders and do the kick
if
outs, and then
if you got him and you were like scheming that way, you could see that definitely happen. You know, putting him and Cade together in a lot of stuff. So.
I mean,
I feel like that works well.
Bogey scored 20 points a game, and Tobias Harris is
better than Bogey.
Yeah, and he's not the defensive liability he is. Of course, he's not a locked-on defender, but he's not legitimate, like, let's target Tobias Harris. I don't know. He didn't have the greatest playoff run, but I'm not going to put a lot into that. I mean,
we got to make playoffs to even give it credit.
Right. We need to. He's an upgrade easily.
Yes.
I guess
plug and play, just like you said with Cameron.
Right. I mean, another free agent that I've seen that we also have talked about a little bit of the off-court issues. Miles Bridges coming off a career year. It's the highest ever. He had his highest points per game this season.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he put up this year?
I think it was like 22, 20. Like it was. That's around what I think it was.
So he didn't crumble under all the pressure of the situation that he had going on.
Yeah.
Because he was on the way up, and then it was like, oh.
I think on the court, he's a perfect fit.
Yes.
Honestly, perfect fit. I would give him a pretty hefty offer. Yeah, I give him some serious money. Because, of course, we don't obviously condone what happened off the court, but we also second chances. Let's have this person grow. He's from he went to Michigan State, a guy that can come here and be
Bring him in, man.
a lob threat. He is a versatile defender with his athleticism. A guy that can really guard 1 through 5, and then also a guy who can shoot. He's
off the catch, off the spot, everything.
Yeah. Of course, if you're personally off of him because of the off the court things, that can be you. I'm gonna go on the high road and say that hopefully that we can have a better alternative and things can be better with him maybe as a Piston. The Hornets obviously I think are gonna want to retain him. You might have to give a little bit and offer more. He's a guy that I think I wouldn't be afraid of overpaying for just because I think he is a pure fit and then also has that star ability.
Yep. I agree with that.
That'd be great. Now this one, very interesting. This one was just because it's a possibility. Paul George. He's a free agent.
Another pure fit.
Team he would be a fit. Now the problem is he's probably gonna be he's probably gonna be pretty expensive. But at the same time, I wouldn't give him a long-term contract. I think that's what he's seeking.
1 year Paul George.
Like maybe 2 years type thing.
2 years?
But he's 33. I wouldn't give him like a 4-year deal because you're giving a guy that type of contract at 37 is not, even with how things are, how players are having longevity shown more, that's a risk I don't think I'm willing to take because like I said, you can't miss.
Yeah, I would not be doing that.
So I think with this, I mean,
I'd rather hit a Cameron or Tobias or Miles Bridges than Paul George.
And I mean, if you want to fix the shooting woes, Klay Thompson is a free agent. I understand that he has his woes, but that is an option as well. I mean, I'm not sure if I really love that option.
He's gonna make more than Ivy shooting them.
Right. It depends how high you are on him. Do you think that he can go back to his defensive abilities? He's also a guy who's older.
Defensively, no.
Right.
I don't think defensively he's getting back to that.
Right.
Shooting, he should be able to get damn close to what he was.
Right.
But just shooting, you know. I think he just needs reps and reps and reps to get back into that.
Right, I mean, he missed 2 years of basketball.
Yeah.
So I think that was
1 year back too.
Right. So he's still got to probably get a little bit more on his feet and get back into the regular season rhythm. I mean, 2 years off basketball, that's some serious time.
Yep.
But I don't know. These are some guys that we thought about. At least I thought about. $60 million in cap. You have assets to an extent, but not crazily. We don't have picks like OKC or anything, or even the Spurs, where you can have 2 top 10 picks to really go send for an all-star. But we have
make something happen here.
We got to make
something happen.
Right. But I guess moving off the Pistons, looking at Brad Holmes paying Jared Goff. Jared Goff paying Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and now Jared Goff with a 4-year, $212 million contract, 170 of it being guaranteed. Yeah. First, let's talk about first reaction. What was your first reaction of it when you saw it?
I like the length of it, and I know we're probably getting into it, and the 4th year is a club situation.
Club option, if you wanted to pick that up. It's a voidable year.
Yep. So essentially what I was calling for before was max 3 year. Mm-hmm. They did exactly what I said.
Right.
I'm okay with the $53 million, whatever it is per year.
Right.
But you didn't put them on for like a 5-year deal. Mm-hmm. No void year at the end or anything.
Right.
You got 3 years, and then if you want a 4th and he's playing well like that, give him the 4th.
Right.
Like I think it's great for what we're dealing with, and we'll have rookies coming up who will need money, so we'll take those guys' importance into an account and say, hey Jared, we're gonna sign these guys and we can't bring it back for that 4th year, or we're in a good spot where we don't need to do as much of that. Get guys in good contracts, and Jared, let's keep going with it. So and give us an opportunity if we don't have another quarterback option at that point, to search and maybe look for that in that time,
Right. And I mean, for me, I thought once I saw that, it was just stability.
Yeah.
It was stability at the quarterback position, knowing, all right, we're going to have a veteran, we're going to have a guy that we know that, Hendon Hooker was a dream, you know what I mean? If that works out, That would be awesome. But there's a stability where you know QB1 is QB1, and QB1 is going to be that guy. He's going to be the franchise guy. He's coming off great. He's a great leader. He's coming off a great year. He showed up in the playoffs. I mean, he is a guy who's experienced. He's a veteran. Like, a lot of people want to talk about his past. Well, he's a veteran now. He is 28, 29 years old. He is experienced. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to the big games. He's played in the big games. He's a very confident person. A guy that, if you really deep dive into Goff, the people that talk about him, he doesn't really get hung up in the highs and the lows of the game, highs and lows of moments. And that's exactly what guys who are made for the big moments are.
Or even like the QB position, you know, and not getting down when you just throw
a pick.
Or like something like that. Or they sack you and now you got long yardage and now you're like in your mind about it.
Right.
You know, staying stoic almost about it is definitely a good way to go about it. So
I mean, big playoff moments, you need mental toughness. I think Goff, especially what happened with the Rams, bouncing back how he did, that's like literally the definition of mental toughness. I mean, how he was written off. I think what they say, you got thrown to the pack and now you come back leading it or whatever, the saying.
Yeah.
He is the leader of this team. He's built this. He is literally the face of Detroit.
Yeah.
He is the face of Detroit. I mean, you can say Dan Campbell is too.
Draft, everybody's cheering Jared Goff multiple times.
Probably didn't help Brad Holmes with negotiations. That chants
No.
were everywhere, but
yeah.
it probably didn't help that. But
there'd be an outrage if you. They're like, oh, no more Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah. I think that Goff deserved this payday. I mean, almost a Super Bowl. And I think that the contract, how it's set up, like you just talked about when we first talked about.
It's great, dude. I love that.
People also don't really understand that. Of course, we haven't got a year-by-year breakdown, to my understanding.
Right.
So that'll be big, too, because obviously Brad's going to manipulate the cap. And, of course, restructures can always happen future down the line when you need them. But, with that being said, $73 million is on a signing bonus, which means that's already hit Jared Goff's bank account.
Yep.
And with that being said, that doesn't hit the cap. So $73 million, which is, by the way, the biggest signing bonus ever in the NFL. Also, he's now the richest Lion ever, which is really cool for him. Yep. But with that being said, now from 212, it's not 212. You know what I mean?
It's not. Right.
So you're down a little bit, and now the cap, also with the void year, that void year is
there's 57 on the void year.
Yeah.
So like, either you're taking it, and the contract's gonna be over anyways if you're at that point.
Right.
So you're either taking it or you're not taking it, and you're fine.
Right.
So,
and to be fair, like, the cap is gonna rise. The cap went up $25 million. Now, it might not go up every year, but the cap is gonna continue to go up. Like when Goff signed his big contract that he's literally on still, the $30 million per year he is on now.
Yeah.
That's now deemed affordable. You know what I mean? So, like, that's going to be a time. And then we beat out extensions of Dak Prescott, of Tua, you know what I mean? Of Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Those guys are going to now probably jump Goff. I mean, looking at the, like, top list of guaranteed money, he's 6th in the NFL. Deshaun Watson is more. Joe Burrow is more. Justin Herbert is more. Lamar Jackson is more. And Jalen Hurts is more. And then eventually, I think Patrick Holmes will probably, when he gets the extension, will leap everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, he's going to probably fall on that list. Dak Prescott's probably going to jump him.
Oh, yeah. Dak will jump him.
And
Tua will probably jump him. I bet you, if the Dolphins are retaining Tua like that, and they want Tua like that, he will jump him.
Right.
But if Tua's, like, gets booted by the Dolphins, and then is trying to get a contract done, or not have a job, you know.
Right.
He might not get that over that, but we'll see, you know. Because do you think, who's better, Tua or Goff?
Goff.
Yeah,
Goff. And I could bring out all the stats in the world, because believe me, I've made posts about them before defending Goff. But to be fair, I'm not gonna waste the time with it. All I'm gonna say is this: if he wins the Super Bowl, this is a great contract. If we get our first Super Bowl, this is the best contract in franchise history.
Yeah.
This is the best contract that you could have done. If he's the quarterback that is the Finals MVP, he didn't have to be Finals MVP, but you know what I mean? If he's the spearhead of this offense for a championship, doesn't matter blank check almost would have been my answer. If I knew
Yeah.
that was going to happen,
Yeah.
blank fucking check.
Yep.
So I completely believe that he can win the big game. I think that that narrative is completely wrong. I think that honestly what blew the big game wasn't even Goff. But like
We had a couple drops that we needed.
I mean,
Yep.
I was defending Josh Reynolds maybe more than some people wanted to admit. Josh had a bad game. Gibbs had that fumble. That cornerback room got
Yep.
cooked.
Yep.
That cornerback room is now deeper.
Cornerback room is now changed.
Yeah,
None of the starters that we played last year will be starting this year.
Right.
None.
Right.
Zero guys in the cornerback room. No more CJ. Branch won't be trying to play slot anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Branch will be a safety
Right.
with Kirby, with Iffy. All those guys did good. It wasn't those guys that was the problem. It was the guys actually on the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Your Kendall Vildor, your
Jerry Jacobs, your
Jerry Jacobs, your Cam Sutton.
and now
Now you've got Carlton Davis. You've got Tyrion Arnold.
yeah,
You've got
Rakestraw.
Ennis Rakeshaw. You've got Mosley possibly making his return. Maybe.
And
Unless
then-
before in training camp we're like, oh, Mosley injury, and then he's gone again. But
Amik, and then you have Vildor,
and then you have Vildor.
you
and
feel
any of
much
those
better.
guys. Yes, it's completely different. You got DJ Rita. You got Marcus Davenport. Bro,
this team.
please.
I don't think it was Goff's. I don't think Goff was the one that let down in the NFC Championship game.
I don't think so either.
And I think that this
because
team,
he was getting the balls where they needed to be. It just wasn't happening. You
Yes.
know, and some of those. So
I think that narrative is absolute BS, bro. I think
yeah,
this, we are all in,
yep.
and this is going to be the most fun. Lions fans, fucking buckle up. This is the most fun you will have.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this 3-year span, hopefully longer, hopefully fucking longer.
Hopefully, just
But-
continuation of great
Right.
organization and system.
But
really.
this 3-4 year span is going to be the best time a lot of Lions fans have ever had in their life.
Yep.
Last year was possibly some
Amazing.
people's like best season ever
Yeah.
for them
Yep.
because we were a game away from the Super Bowl. That hasn't happened in a long time, a long time, long, like long, crazy amount of time. And with that being said, it's not coming to an end. We are going to be a NFC contender for a long time. This NFC contender is built off young players, and yes, we're getting to a point where we have to start paying. But now, this is where Brad shows his real stuff.
This is where Brad, you'll see all of his work.
He always was a scouting guy,
together.
right? He
Yeah.
always was the scouting guy with the Rams. Now, this is his time. How do you manage money? How do you get these guys and keep the core guys together in the right way?
Yeah.
How do you make these decisions? How do you handle the guys that you know are going to not be able to get re-signed? How do you trade them off for good assets before their value is diminished? Do you let them, like, how do you handle that? The drafts. You're not going to have these top picks anymore. Like this year, you didn't have have like the 5th pick and the 18th pick or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or 6th pick, sorry.
But this is probably an outlier, but there was no defense taken off the board until
Right.
14.
Right.
The 15th pick was the first guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it did make it slightly easier
Right,
for us
right.
to get a guy that we wanted there. But
Right.
on
But-
the side of the ball that we needed, you know.
Mhm.
It's always, it's going to be different drafts every year, so.
Right. But this is where, Brad, you're not going to get, you don't have the disposal of an Aiden Hutchinson at 2. Like Jahmyr Gibbs being able to trade back to 12, having that comfortability. You know what I mean? You don't really have the lump sum of picks, even though we do still have quite a few picks. Don't get it twisted. But these picks will not be earlier in the rounds. You know what I mean?
Right. But you've seen Brad just pull out of anywhere in the draft,
Right.
dude.
Right.
Like a lot of that for Brad too, is in that second round turn, and even in the second round itself.
Mm-hmm.
He does just fine with those picks, man. He does just fine. Laporta, Branch, you know, you could probably go off on those for a little bit, but it's
To be fair, a lot of these like players that we may lose, if we lose in free agency, we're still going to probably get compensatory picks.
right.
If
right.
Ben Johnson leaves, yes, that's going to stink. If Aaron Glenn leaves, whether you think like you like him or you don't like him, that's not going to be. I don't think it's a good thing. You know what I mean? I don't think it's what people sometimes maybe think about Aaron Glenn. But you're going to get compensatory picks. The best you can get is 3rd round pick. If Ben Johnson left, we probably do get a 3rd round pick this year. So
Really, if Ben Johnson left,
I you know what, I don't know.
you get it for coaches too.
I think so. I believe so.
That is so weird.
It's very different. It's very different from many leagues.
Like, if anybody leaves your team, you get compensatory.
Depends on the value, of course. You know what I mean?
Depends on their value?
Like, if you lose...
How do you value what pick they are?
The value. Like, it would be like if you lose... Like, I don't know if the 49ers got a compensatory pick for Chase Young. I think I want to say they did, but I could be wrong. I think they got a third-round pick out of it. So, that's why they were so okay with it. You know what I mean? Best
That's
you can get,
weird, dude.
It's very odd.
I just don't understand.
Compared to other leagues, it's very odd. But... Also, I think that's... I don't know how it's deemed. I don't remember. But anyways. Yeah. This Jared Goff contract is definitely... Once we get the breakdown, we're going to talk about that in that very next podcast. Breaking it down by year. Because we have those for Panay and Amon-Ra. Maybe we can even compare when those things kick in. But this is the time where Brad shows at this trade deadline. Okay, is there like an injury that happened? And now we need depth at a certain position. Or the edge rushers that we brought in, not exactly what we thought it was. Do we need another vet at cornerback? Did an old lineman go down that now we need, and the rookie's not able to step up? For this playoff run, we need to get depth at the position. Whatever it is, right?
Well, we have a lot. We drafted a couple.
Right. But are those guys ready to go? You know what I mean? For playoff runs? But
Giovanni, I mean, maybe.
Right.
I'd like to just see that guy put right in there just for him.
Okay.
Dude is massive.
He's like 6'8", and I think he might.
And he's big.
I don't know. I saw the rumors he might play guard, and if that's true, oh man, that's
dude,
giant.
Did you watch some of his stuff?
Oh yeah, he's a big dude, and he moves.
He pancaked everybody that tried to get around him. He just threw him on the ground and he laid on top of him. Every guy. Right. It was like every play. It was insane.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's in a lower league, British Columbia, whatever you want to say about it. But every play, this guy just... It didn't matter who was over there. Right. They were on the ground or they were removed from the entire play.
Right.
Like, he's raw, but, dude, this is like, with what we have, I'm just thinking, like, what we have, like, you have him. If he's, whether he's tackle, whether he's guard, whatever, wherever you need him. Him and Panay in the same line, I mean, dude, that just helps you create such a good base, like,
right.
In the future, you know what I mean? It just, Brad's just so good. I don't know. He's just the best. You could just see like guys working out and why he had seen that guy and why he picked that guy, you know?
Right.
Even just from not an experienced point of view, you know?
Right. Brad is definitely the biggest thing that I think has happened to the team.
That's true.
That was the hire that made it all. You know what I mean? And I think the Matthew Stafford trade was probably one of the biggest things about it too.
Yep.
Getting your franchise guy. You don't have to get a quarterback now that Stafford's gone. Like you traded Stafford, and you're not getting a rookie. You got a guy we're ready to go.
Who's played NFL football and can play NFL
big football. Games, everything like that.
Yes.
You
bend to the ball.
You get a coach that has, and he's got a great staff. Dan Campbell has a great staff. Ben Johnson is. He's one of the best, if not the best, offensive coordinator in the league. And he's...
Yep.
Dan,
yep.
You can talk about a lot of things about Dan. Dan is a lot better coach than I think people give credit. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people try, especially that aren't Lions fans that look from the outside, think that Dan Campbell, like, he's the stereotypes that everyone thinks of him. You know, meathead, always biting kneecaps, all this stuff, always going for fourth downs. There is logic, or there's... What's the saying? Something to the madness? I don't...
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't... But he's not just doing it for no reason. There's things probably that he also does from the gut, you know what I mean? Like what he feels. But also, they're playing their chances, but they're playing their cards, knowing their deck, knowing the good moves, the moves that could happen. Like, they are...
Like, going for those fours is like... Especially a lot of them they would go for were shorts, you know, fourth and short, like not much. But like going for those fourths is just when you have high like percentage plays that you know work, or you came up with a play and you're like, yeah, they haven't seen this. This is exactly what we made it for. Like that's why we're going for those,
right?
Because we did those in practice. We didn't just we're gonna go for the fourth down, guys. Be ready, you know. Right. It was worked in.
It was a part of the system.
It was part of it all. Yes.
Right, and that's part of firing an Anthony Lynn and getting and upgrading a Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Like, having the balls to be like, I brought you in, this isn't working. My job's on the line. We gotta replace you, because if I keep you at this position, that's similar like Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's loyalty to Matt Canada was probably too loyal.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell was the ability that he's like, all right, we're mid-season. You gotta go, bro. I'm taking play calls, and then eventually after doing play calling, what is this OC really for? All right, let's get him off, and then Ben Johnson, tight end. Let's elevate him next season to full offensive coordinator after seeing him work with Dan, getting the rest of that season to really show off and get experience too. It wasn't like you randomly threw him into the fire. So it's this future of this team it's great. And I guess a couple things I want to say about Goff is that Goff is the only quarterback in NFL history to throw 30,000 yards and have less than 100 interceptions. Only ever. This isn't only in franchise history. Ever. And this isn't that he was at 99 interceptions. The man's at 82. The man is a guy that is, I think, very underrated. I think that Jared Goff is much better.
I think he's more underrated than outside thinks of him. Yeah, for sure.
Right. And I mean, it's just, I saw a lot of people laughing when we gave him that extension. Yeah. I think you guys don't know the Jared Goff.
I think we will be laughing in the end, you know.
I don't think you know what Jared Goff you're getting. This ain't the same guy that was in LA. And this ain't the same team that was in LA. There's a lot of things that are different about this team. And this team is built in the trenches, ways that are built to win these games. And yes, the team around Goff is very good. But I bet your ass that if Goff has to win the game with his arm, he's going to do it. I don't care about the mobility talk. I literally don't care. I genuinely don't care. Joe Burrow's not a mobile quarterback. I don't want to hear it. Matthew Stafford's not a mobile
quarterback. He won a Super Bowl.
That was a Super Bowl matchup.
Non-athletic mobile quarterback.
Yes. Joe Burrow beat Patrick Mahomes.
Tom Brady is not a running quarterback.
Right. We beat them in the regular season. I understand that's different than the postseason, of course. But Lamar Jackson, the ideal mobile quarterback, how'd that go for them when they tried to pass the ball that offseason against the Chiefs? Against the postseason against the Chiefs. Yeah. They couldn't do anything in the passing game. They got completely dumpstered by that tough offense, or tough Chiefs defense.
Tough Chiefs defense, yep.
So, with that being said, I'm not trying to discount other quarterbacks. I'm not trying to do that.
No.
But
you're not just going to discount Goff because he can't move.
When push comes to shove, Goff, I think, is not he's a top 10 option. He's probably a top 7 option, to be frank.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
And when he's hot, he's as good as anyone else. I'm sorry. I mean, Patrick Holmes is the best, and then after that, I think it's a conversation. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into where quarterbacks rank, but Goff can win you games with his arm. I'm sick of that idea, that 100%. Ideology. But I guess after the draft, because talking about that, where do you think this NFC North is? Do you think that? I mean, JJ got added. I mean,
what do you mean in terms of other?
I guess do your mind change with how this ranking maybe goes out? Maybe not even that. You might still think that the Lions are top, but after the draft, does your mind change of the order?
I would put Lions top, and then I would be out of unknowing or just not knowing what the heck's going to happen with, especially that new Bears team. That's like a whole different team.
It's crazy.
It's like a whole different team, the Bears.
That chemistry is, I think that's might be a problem. There's a lack of chemistry there. You know what I mean?
I think it's gonna be a problem with all the talent.
Talent? I mean, there's talent, but you have a lot of weight on rookies, and you have a lot of weight on players that really haven't played together.
That's true.
They don't have the trenches that.
I guess Jordan Love has some more time with his guys now, but. I don't know, dude. I think, I don't know. The Bears, but what is their defense? They got Janet Johnson, then you got Truman Evans.
Right. And you got Sweat. You know, Montez Sweat. I mean, you got the...
you do got some guys there.
Their defense is... I think their defense... I mean, they have the free safety from Michigan. I don't know why I can't remember his name. That's... I don't know. I'm not going to be able to get off that now.
But I don't know. You could throw Bears Packers can swap 2 and 3, and then I think the Vikings are probably not going to be the best team in the NFC North.
As much as
there's always a bottom team.
Former co-host
Yeah.
Brett.
I mean, hey, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on the Vikings, but I just feel like the Bears. Yes, there's a lot for them to learn and go through at the beginning, but I don't see how. If you fail and those guys aren't injured and you fail with those guys, yeah, just don't have a team anymore because that's terrible.
Right.
If you don't even get you gotta win 8 games. Right. If you don't win 8 games with that team, wow.
Right.
Wow.
Right. And I'm sorry. The Vikings fans that are talking ish about the Goff extension, bro. If there's anybody that shouldn't be talking,
it's like Kirk Cousins.
Now, I mean, JJ.
Stan boys.
I like JJ, and I'm not gonna lie, I liked him when he was at Michigan.
Yeah.
But that's I mean, you know that Michigan system. That Michigan system was hard.
I don't think they know. Tell them. I don't even know.
That was trenches and that was running the ball. You know what I mean? Now, yes, he had those third down plays, and sometimes he did some great plays.
He had 70% completion rate on third down. Yes.
He
was better than everybody else by a lot. But we had the best O-line in the league. Or in college.
Right, in the nation, I guess.
Yeah, in the nation.
Yeah.
Best O-line.
You had, you have Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum. You had a very deep RB room that, a lot of times they went to the run. And I'm not trying to discount him because I was a guy that was always cheering for him when he was from Michigan.
Yeah, but not discounting him, just saying
But come on, guys.
His thing is not just throwing the ball to a Justin Jefferson. That will be a learned
run game.
That will be a learned thing for him. You got Aaron Jones, which I love Aaron Jones. Don't get me wrong. Aaron Jones is gonna be 30 this year, and any running back falls off a cliff at some point.
Right.
So.
You gotta hope that I guess he doesn't.
Not this year,
but
which he probably won't. I don't believe Aaron Jones will be bad this year.
Right.
But he's not very big, which Blake's not. But you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Aaron Jones is only so big. I don't know if he's gonna take all that. I don't know. Tyson Chandler's probably gonna get work again too in there. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably gonna be both of them doing that. Aaron Jones, a lot of receiving, a lot of play action plays with Aaron Jones, but I bet you Ty Chandler will get some third down back work, and just getting yards as a back like that, and taking a lot of hits off of Aaron Jones, but kind of like Monty and Gibbs.
That old line doesn't really have that ability to get that push. I don't think.
Name some old linemen off the team.
To be fair,
I think they have a tackle.
But I don't think that this Vikings squad is gonna be. I think they're gonna be 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they are too.
And this team, this division, isn't a weak division. It's probably gonna be one of the stronger divisions.
It could be 4 with 8 wins, like I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying, the Bears, you got to do something. You can't just sit and wait in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And could be first year for the Bears. They have 4,000 yards thrown by the quarterback.
Yeah.
First, they still need it, so never happened for them.
Funny part is they were talking about also those guys are the people talking about Goff. Okay. Goff would be last season. Goff would have been the best year,
the best quarterback we've ever had.
So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to. I'm done with it. Just stop. I don't know. It's
it's pretty bad.
From you guys. That's who's talking bad about this extent. I'm sorry. Mitch Trubisky. Just remind him. Just remind them of that. Just have a great time with remembering.
Yeah.
That. He's had one good year. But I'm not gonna. Anyways. Okay. Well. Anyways, probably to wrap this up on the final topic. I think we talked about this before. Just personally, in the car.
Oh yeah.
Talking about this.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting topic. So. We're not going to talk about, maybe, do you want to do a season and then maybe long term? Basically, it's the totem pole of this Lions team.
We'll just do it right now.
Okay, right now?
Right now. Yeah.
For this coming season. Basically, where do you...
we kind of did this too because those other guys didn't get contracts yet.
Right.
But, they're all getting contracts anyways, so... Right. It was basically,
your top guys in the team and like what you be.
Who would you keep first?
Right.
Off the team. Like who are you keeping in order by like value to the team, essentially.
Right. So I guess looking at that, I think we both have the agreement of one, but at least my one at the top of the totem pole cannot be touched. A guy that you cannot lose at any expense is Peneso. That is the guy that I think that one's
that is a locker room leader. That's a field leader. That's a team leader. That's a family man presence. He's everything in one.
Right.
He's the best tackle in the league. He's going to be the best tackle in the league for a long time.
Right.
Like he's got everything that you want and need from a guy like that in the trenches. Like I said, helping the team get through stuff, talking to them before every game, between breaks in the game, whatever. He's there. You hear him. He's mic'd up. He's doing it. Mm-hmm. He's always doing that stuff. He's the guy.
Right.
He's the guy.
I guess for 2, what is your 2? Does anything change?
I think
I think this is also agreed, but
we agreed on it, which it just makes sense to agree on it because you're trying to figure out the value of the guys. Mm-hmm. So I think we had Hutch next, didn't we?
I think we did have Hutch.
We had Hutch. We had a tough time
between.
No, we didn't because we were like, nah, we can't. Because Saint did so good this year.
Right.
We went like Saint, Hutch, like 2 essentially.
Yeah. Was
what we did, but I don't know. Do you want to put Hutch? Want to put Saint?
I would put Hutch.
I'll put Hutch. I'll put Hutch too because I love it. It's hard to get guys like that with those physicals and stuff like that. So
6'7". I mean, the way the stuff that he was talking about pre-draft about his arm length. Well, I think his arm length has been fine. The guy that was touted over him, Javon Walker. Maybe his long arms, I guess, have helped him
fall on the ground more or something. I don't know.
I don't know because the production is not
even close. No,
I mean,
not even close.
Especially with the amount of attention
and with how young he is and how much he can.
I'm sorry, but Josh Allen, and then if you put Hutch on the other side, oh my goodness, that's
the thing is too is because we're only getting so much of a 2-year sample size on Hutch, right?
Right.
Which is only who we had on the D line. You know, we've had McNeil progress into what he is now.
Right.
And then we've had not really another edge rusher with Hutch.
Right.
And then not really a big time other D tackle with McNeil.
Right.
This year we got Davenport. You got Houston, who came off his breakout. You've got DJ Reader with McNeil.
That's gonna be huge.
This D line is gonna be so. I can't even. That's probably one of my most excited parts I am about this team. I love getting the cornerbacks and all the cornerback depth, showing up that. All right, I'm not gonna worry about it now.
Right.
I love, what are we gonna do with the receivers? Our receivers are fine. We're gonna do fine with the receivers. You got Laporta. Running backs are good. I love running backs, but they're good.
Right.
So the D line being good now is gonna be you're gonna see Hutch do. Hutch is gonna have 15 sacks this year. He's gonna have 15 sacks or more.
Right.
Hear it now.
I would love that.
See it later. He's gonna have it. It's gonna happen.
That'd be DP. Well, he's gonna be in DPOY.
Dude, he's gonna be in the conversations because we're gonna have the record, and he's just gonna do it.
Oh.
If he can try to grab some picks and some crazy coverages to add to that, that'd be great because he's done it. So
right.
I wouldn't mind it. Where's the short arms then? Short arms, big hands, ball in his hands. There you go.
I literally don't understand. That was the most
short arms. Yeah, that's a pretty dumb take on that.
I know, that was ridiculous. Anyways, thank you, Jaguars. Thank you.
Yes, Hutch. We just got into Hutch a little bit there. We're ready to see Hutch just be better and better. So
we will definitely do when we get closer predictions for that, if
stats or something. Yeah,
like wide receiver stats.
Yeah, you can't really do them for Penny, but
but J-Mo's going for 1,200 yards. I'm just saying.
Okay,
but
that would be crazy. 1,200 yards would be ceiling right now for this season. I feel like for J-Mo.
Yeah, probably. But I'm ready for it. He's wide receiver 2 now. No,
Hutch. All right, Panay, Hutch, St. Brown.
And then I want to hear yours. I already have mine in my head, and I don't. I'm wondering what you got cooking. That's my question.
Panay, Hutch, St. Brown, Goff.
I was wondering if you were gonna put Goff there, if you wanted to put someone else there.
You put Goff there.
I think that one. It also is the gravity of the position, but the play that Goff is.
Well, and you're showing me some of these stats, and I'm like, wow, this guy's kind of amazing. Not really good. He's really that guy.
Right.
So he just when he's playing, he doesn't have that. Oh wow, look at that guy. You know, he's just like standing out there throwing the ball around,
right?
Just making dots happen down the field. Like that's
he's
all
not
he
the
does.
prettiest player.
No, he's not. He's like it's like a Jokic in that way almost. We're like, you know, wow, Jokic just backed the guy down in the paint and shot another hook shot. Wow, you know, it's like we're just making points. He's doing really good.
Right. It's not the wow factor of Lamar Jackson juking out 5 guys and getting a first down instead of Goff throwing a 10-yard in route to St. Brown.
You know, somebody that can't throw like Goff, but is getting paid more, obviously, for his mobility, is you had Jalen Hurts on there.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts had a rough season passing last year.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really... I don't think the year before he threw for 4,000 yards either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he throws for 4,000 yards like that, which obviously is not in his skill set, essentially,
right.
You know, or scheme of what they want to do with him. But I also don't think he can. Especially from last year, didn't look that good.
Right.
And this is your prime time with AJ and Devonta.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get much better, really. So I don't know. I don't know about him on his arm.
Right.
And how good his actual pure passing is for Jalen Hurts.
Right.
I think Lamar's better. I think Lamar's better passing.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I mean,
he's going to pay more?
He did have a tough time against that Chiefs defense, but that Chiefs defense is nasty.
Yeah. That's nasty.
That was just the point I wanted to make earlier. But yes. Lamar will get one MVP.
Which, with Lamar, his main thing isn't passing either. But Lamar's better passer than Jalen Hurts.
Right.
And Jalen Hurts, I'm trying to say is Jalen Hurts getting paid more than Goff, or guaranteed same or similar. I guess he guaranteed more.
Right.
$9 million more. So.
Right. I guess after Goff, where do you got this now?
Oh yes. I would.
It's tough now because you also got you got to think about.
You got Branch. You got Porta. You got Gibbs.
Yeah.
I kind of want to say Branch. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You want me to tell you something that will make you pick Branch?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I can't remind. I think it was. It was like impact. I think it was. He was the highest impact safety in the league.
I know.
Last year.
That's why I'm thinking about Branch, and he's just.
That wasn't for rookies.
And
I've
heard some of the Lions players talk about him, and they're saying like, that's a guy we just tell him to go do his stuff, and he just goes and does it.
Yeah. So, right.
It's but Laporta's like it's so good, and Gibbs is like potential to the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Like it's insane. I don't know. Just put them all at like their own spot. Just have one line of those guys.
I think I think
you putting Branch. I'll put Branch. I love having you got to.
Well, you know what? Let's do Branch. We'll do it.
We'll do Branch.
Now the question is Gibbs or Laporta? Which one?
I don't. Stop. I don't.
I'm putting Gibbs.
Are you putting Gibbs? Laporta's blocking and receiving, bro.
I agree. Yeah. I just think
you're just putting it there.
Gibbs' burst is something. You don't think
Laporta has? I might get up to higher levels yet.
No, I think he definitely can, and I think he's already one of the best.
It's so tough. All right, we'll go Gibbs. We'll go Gibbs, then we'll go Laporta. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'm not mad at the picks. I'm just trying to be like, Laporta's like he's an all-in-one package,
Right. The best thing about this is that this is very difficult.
Yes.
You're talking about the team that you are rooting for.
Yes. It's fun because we haven't had this.
Right. And
what are you going to do with Pistons? Oh, who do you keep? Well, you got Cade and then you got what?
Right.
Tigers. Oh.
It's genuinely like these guys are like Branch probably will have he's probably going to be a Pro Bowler. Like
dude, I'm not in disagreement with you. Right. These guys are the guys.
Laporta, the only problem, well, that's in the AFC though. He can make an all. He made All Pro. No, he made All Pro. What am I saying? Yeah. So that was rookie season All Pro. That was
rookie season.
Now, and I understand that we just put Gibbs over him, but I just think that Gibbs he wasn't fully unleashed this season. No. I think he's going to get a little bit higher workload. Especially, you want to conserve Monty because Monty his hits are going to be adding up. I love Monty and I want him to be a Lion for the rest of his contract, which I think still has void years technically that could be worked out.
Monty?
I think there is.
Or not Monty, but
No, it's Monty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Montgomery.
Yeah, you can call him Monty. I mean, but
it feels weird saying Monty about him when you're saying Monty Williams. So
right, I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah, because what would be another? You don't really just say, "Oh, David," you know.
Yeah, right. So I don't know.
We need to find some. We need to find a name for him that's different than Monty Williams because he cannot be compared to that. He cannot have the same.
He owns the Monty. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he might need to own the Monty instead.
And then Monty Williams just has to.
We'll call him. I don't know. Well, we'll find out.
But I think Gibbs is going to probably get a bigger workload because also he's the draft capital you put on him. I don't think you really. He's gonna be the one. You know what I mean? I don't think you drafted him to be the two. And
he's either gonna be the one, or wherever way they decide to go with this team, you're going to be actively pursuing a two-back system. Usually, you know.
Right.
That's what I could see as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is always have a big guy, power guy.
With finesse,
you know what I mean? With finesse and catching, like Monty would be great, but
right,
Gibbs can do all that. You just need Jamal Williams even would be like a guy you could throw with Gibbs and you'd be just fine,
right?
Because he does his thing and Gibbs does everything else.
Right.
So just take hits off of Gibbs because Gibbs is smaller. You know, Gibbs is a smaller guy. So and
he's like you would rather put Monty through the middle than you put Gibbs.
Oh yeah.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
This just popped in my head. I think we'll probably be done with the totem poll just because after that it's just like the guys that really aren't.
Yeah.
So, but
Kirby, there you go.
With that being said, I mean, I guess you have like Frank and shit. I guess that'd be I mean, you got like Frank.
I think we got up to like Laporta and Gibbs at the end there, and then we said all the good O linemen after that. That's what we said.
I think it was something like that.
It was something like that.
Because it was like
there's your totem poll.
And then you maybe throw
you get Panay at the top, and then you get a lot of the good guys, and then you have O line.
Right.
That's it.
But
that's all you need on the lines.
So we're looking at the NFC North.
Yeah.
We have DeAndre Swift returning. We have Aaron Jones moving laterally, basically. You know what I mean? Changing teams.
Yep.
And then you have Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs entering the stage.
So, is it a bold take to say that Jahmyr Gibbs is the best running back in the NFC North? Or do you think that you agree with that take?
Wow. If there's a Josh Jacobs resurgence in his play, you could probably put him above him.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones is not going to get better or be better than Gibbs, so he's better than Aaron Jones. And then he's better than Swift.
I think the biggest question was
better
Jacobs. I think the question was
Jacobs. If Jacobs can have a resurgence and like run good and like do the stuff good that he was doing before, yeah, sure, he can play better than Gibbs and get more stats than Gibbs or whatever. But if your stats less and people are trying to say you're better because you're this or that, nah, you're not better. Gibbs could just explode on you and just
I mean, he was the rushing champ a couple of years ago, but
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt for that.
Okay.
You've had success. I can see you doing it again because you're not past your prime.
Mm-hmm.
You're just on dookie teams, but
I don't know.
Packers are a good team for
maybe because you got that Jordan Love compared to a Jimmy Garoppolo that wants more attention. That's why.
I think he'll do better on the Packers.
I think that's close.
I don't know if he's going to get to his rushing leader status again. You know,
mm-hmm.
it was great when it happened, and then he had me fooled for fantasy. I'll tell you that. He had me absolutely swindled in fantasy.
That's so funny.
He made me think I'm picking a top 7 back in the second round. Like a beast. I'm like, yes. Who will let this happen? Yeah. Not good. I did that in like most leagues too. Like I'm pretty sure like I had way too many leagues, but the ones I cared about definitely drafted Josh Jacobs in. Definitely.
That's
didn't work out.
That's hilarious.
Couldn't sell him. And then people were wanting to get him when he was like doing good. And then I was like, okay, wow. People were like, oh, give me Jacobs.
That's hilarious.
And he was like dropping 30s for me. I'm like, dude, this is the first time in the season that he's been doing this for me. And you're like, and then he wasn't good. He wasn't even consistent. And I was like, okay.
You could have sold high.
I should have. I just should have. But I was figuring.
You wanted the return.
I wanted the return. I was like, come on, bro. Give me something.
You probably didn't get good offers. I mean.
It wasn't great. If I would have been like smarter about it, I would have tried to immediately sell Josh Jacobs for like. I mean, this is like all in retrospect, like we always do, but.
Right.
I would immediately sold Josh Jacobs for Rachaad White, knowing better, because Rachaad White would have given me 20 every week for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So 20 plus from Rachaad. So.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh, when we get closer to the season, bro, doing these podcasts.
Bro, I'm not doing anything.
It's gonna be so much fun though.
Will we have like fantasy podcasts where we talk about what's going on in our fantasy leagues?
Definitely need to do that, bro.
Yeah,
we definitely need to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun. And then if we get like, if we do ever Brett or anyone else on, like Kyle or something like that, or anyone that's on the league, I mean, we could that would just be fun to talk about that. And also, I mean, there was big moves. We can just talk about those.
There's always big moves that we make.
During the season, we might have to do more than one pod a week. We'll see. We
might.
Because there's so much content, bro. That's like this is all a lot of speculation. Once we're seeing it happen, then we got doing the fantasy stuff. Oh, okay. But anyways.
Yeah.
Again, last thing that I think I really want to talk about was something I just forgot. Why did I just forget it?
Nice.
We're dialed. Sorry. It is the schedule will come out probably when this podcast gets posted. It'll be the same day. I'm just gonna try to get it posted tomorrow. As you can see, this is on a live stream, but I'll have it on the Spotify and everything like that. Hopefully tomorrow. And with that being said, the schedule will be out then. So, week 1. Who do you want?
49ers.
Want the 49ers?
I want to play them like we did the Chiefs, a really good team. I want to beat them, and it's for revenge, and I want to beat them immediately, and then move on and win every other game this year. Yes. Yes.
Okay. You want to hear mine?
Yes. What do you want?
It's also revenge, and it is so.
Yes.
It is so personal.
Sweet revenge.
It is very personal.
Sweet.
I want the Cowboys so bad. Do it week 1. I want NFL. Do it. It'll be great. I promise you. It's gonna be pure entertainment.
It would be a huge marketing thing. Week 1. Either team, honestly.
Yes.
Would be great marketing for
all the broadcasts stuff you can do for the.
Yeah.
Keep replaying that Decker thing. How that happened.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want that win so bad because Cowboys fans were talking some ish, and I want it. I want that W. I want
that. I do want that so badly.
If that doesn't have to happen week 1, but if I had to pick one, I want week 1 Cowboys.
You want week 1 Cowboys?
Okay.
I'll take 49ers still.
I like that. No,
I'll
like
still
that.
play the 49ers.
That's a fun.
Get back that win that we didn't have and just go win the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Play
I mean, you could be kind of like, you'd be a puss and want like
what?
Like you can want like the Titans or something like weaker. If you
Who wants that?
I don't know.
Bro, we faced the Chiefs last year and won first game.
I know.
Nah, I want a good team. I want to start off hot and we're gonna stay hot.
I know. I'm just saying. Maybe some people they want to start 1-0. I think we can start 1-0.
We're gonna start 1-0 regardless.
But
we're gonna start 1-0 regardless of what team is there, Drew. We're starting 5-0. I promise you.
The prediction.
5-0.
Well, let's see the schedule first.
That's as far as I can give you without a loss. So.
We'll see. I think this team is ready to go, and I think that next season is going to be amazing. I mean, the biggest thing I'm terrified about would be possibility of injury, but we're just gonna not even put that energy out there. We're gonna have a healthy season, a great season. It's gonna be awesome, and we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be a great time for all Lions fans.
Yes.
And it's gonna let us. Hopefully, we have a good offseason from the Pistons. But if we don't, we can forget about it.
I'm not. It might be in blacklist playoff territory here if they're like or blacklist podcast territory here where we just don't care.
Just don't talk about them.
Yeah, we're done. We failed.
We'll
just like switch right to the wings. We'll like get into the wings and stuff. We won't care about no Pistons.
That'd be tough though. I can't do that with Cade though. That's the problem. I care too much about.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the 12th episode. And like I said, I don't know. You know, let's check. Let's check. Have we reached 100? If not, that's totally fine.
Yes.
We're still at 99.
99.
You could be the 100th subscriber.
You could be the 100th subscriber.
Just throwing that out there. If anyone would like to subscribe. But let me know down below what we should do. Should we do something special? Should I do something special? Whatever. Giveaway. Whatever it is. For 100 subscribers. That would be very awesome.
Yes.
But anyways, guys, let us know down below. One, what did you think about the lottery with the Pistons? Who do you want to keep the pick, trade the pick? Any guys you would like?
Yeah.
And how excited are you for this NFL season? But with that being said, guys, please stay safe because you can't miss this next upcoming season. You cannot miss that. Just be safe. Look, when you're crossing the street, check 5 times. Just don't get hit by a car.
Yep.
But with that being said, guys, stay safe and peace.